Yes, good evening, viewers and listeners from Nigeria, across Africa, and around the world. My name is Smart Mado Ajaja, and the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now, Global Matters Arising, Good Morning Africa, and Reggae at its best on ONN. With me in the studio today, joining all the way from Los Angeles, California, is a renowned Nigerian revolutionary and activist who will be introducing himself as get underway. Mr. Okumba, welcome to our show, The World in View, looking at Nigeria today. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. For this, we are always here. We get a lot of new people coming every day. Thousands of them come in. They are beginning to troop in now. For the sake of those people, I would love for you to this growing global audience of ours.
Yes. My name is Charles Ugumba, aka Charlie Dan Inusa, jikan Barnawa, mashigin daji mai nasara, kowane wuta da nashi hayaki, jikan kwikwi, jikan kozo, opinionated Nigerian of Biafran extraction, living in exile. I understand Nigeria like the back of my hand. If you are a Nigerian like me, and you speak Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, and can write them, then you are a Nigerian. I understand Nigeria. I was born in Kaduna. I fought in the Biafran army during the Nigerian Civil War in Port Harcourt Strike Force Brigade, Raiders Battalion. My enlistment number is BA 211373. I never surrendered to anybody. I enlisted as a 12-year-old. The army disbanded. At the time, I was 14. Nobody surrendered on my behalf. I was secretary of Kaduna Mafia. When I say I'm secretary of Kaduna Mafia, what I mean is this. I was personal assistant to Aliko Misal Mohammed.
Yeah, Mr. Ogumba, your phone is still calling me. Your phone, check your phone.
Which of my phone? Wow, why would my phone be calling you? But
Yeah, I don't know. It's been yes.
it is.
All right.
Well, why don't you just ignore it?
Okay, go ahead.
Well, we don't have any,
Yeah, yes. All
injunctions.
right, go ahead.
Yes. Anybody who does not know should be aware that there was a time when the North was united, when they had only one bank, the Bank of the North. The chairman of the Bank of the North for close to 20 years was Ali Komisar Mohammed, arguably the first Northern chartered accountant. When Fulani steal money from the government, they come to Aliko on how to invest it. And I was present in nearly every meeting. When I say I am secretary, I was secretary to Kaduna Mafia for 11 years. That's exactly what I mean. And if you know different, say then so. I understand Nigeria. I have strong feelings about Nigeria. This nonsense that Gumi is doing, we don't want to live in the same climate with Gumi. When anybody decides to imprison Onyendu, Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu, they have also imprisoned all of us. I want Nigeria to understand, particularly Fulani, that the geopolitics have changed. The people they called their allies in the past are no more their allies. Not Benue, not Plateau, not Birom, not Angas, and definitely for damn sure, not Hausa. We are ready to go to war against Fulani if the need should be, because they have already declared war against us. We are ready to go to war about changing the Nigerian system of government, which was humongously tilted towards the interest of Fulani. We don't want Sharia in Nigeria. We cannot live in a country with parallel systems of law and justice and adjudication. All that bullshit starting from Arabia has met its match in Igbo land. It will not hold. It's not going to happen. So if you want to know more, just ask me. Fire away.
Uh, all right. Thank you very much for that powerful introduction. Yes, the reason we are here today um, is we are looking for answers to these questions. The elitist Fulani genocidal war against Nigeria. Yes, and the reason we are here is for the people of Nigeria, the people of the world, to know the truth so we can preemptively rescue Nigeria from this invasion that could bring about the world's worst humanitarian catastrophe, with Sudan already on fire. We don't want to exacerbate that, and that's the reason we are here. There has been a lot of things going on where we have a minister of defense is Fulani, minister of defense state is Fulani, national security advisor is Fulani, and the rogue vice president of Nigeria, though Kanuri, connected with Fulani. What do you have to say on Nigeria?
What I want to say at this moment is that Saad Abubakar still has daylight. He can abdicate to UAE where there is still daylight. If anybody in Nigeria is wondering why America is not effectively in Nigeria, they should go back to the Iraq war. It took America almost 6 months to mobilize. America does not move like that, except maybe you attack them and then they scramble their jets. America is organizing its logistics, field hospitals, mechanical repair shops, everything. They bring everything of their own. All those terrorists that were trucked into Nigeria, trucked into the southern part of Nigeria on 18-wheel trailers, they will not have those trailers to truck them back. They will die in those forests. They will be incinerated there, wherever they congregate. And as the time continues to go, I want Nigerians to be aware that guns will be readily available to Nigerians, just like cell phones. The nonsense of Fulani and the nonsense of Arabs has met its match. If they want, all of them should leave now and escape to the UAE, because the list will be printed like playing cards, the cards you put on the table, just the same way the Iraqis, their faces were put there. We will hunt these people down. I don't want to hear Gumi saying IPOB this, and that, and that IPOB are killing gallant Nigerian forces, and so on and so forth. All those Ebubediki and so on, it is their own mechanizations that they did. They put those there. That's not, IPOB does not prey on its own people. They wanted to do that. And he said, these terrorists, they are even less pervasive because all they did is to kidnap people for ransom. They don't kill the. We're not even listening to those stories again because for years, Fulani controlled government of Nigeria lied on every issue. They, fabulated stories and put out information that was wrong to cover up the atrocities in Nigeria. We don't want them anymore. They will need a password to move around in Kaduna, in Nigeria. So that is what I feel.
Hello.
We don't
All
care.
right, good.
Yes, we don't
You
care
okay?
about who they appoint where and who is minister of this and minister of that and so on. There's a guy who used to say, "Minister Taro dan Arewani, Minister kaza kaza dan Arewani, Minister this and that dan Arewani." Well, that government will be scrapped. Tinubu's government will be scrapped. When America comes, that government will go. We are going to reconfigure the Nigerian system of government. We are going to reform our security forces and enlist Nigerians in there.
All right, thank you very much. Well, there's this article on Sharia. Listen very attentively so you can hear and pick up what you want to pick. This. Our listeners who are just joining us, we welcome you. Please, how we grow is through your subscription and how YouTube, recommend our message and our channel is through your comments and your like and you sharing our messages. Please, if you are just joining and if this is your very first time, we heartily welcome you and make you feel at home. All right, we are we speak the truth as it is. Yes, we will step on toes. Yeah, with the truth that we speak, that is going to be inconvenient to some people who are at the forefront of destroying Nigeria. This country, Nigeria, is our country. It is an African country. It's not a European country, and it's not an Arab country. It is an African country. A federal government or federal system we practice. Our allegiance is to the nothing else. Our allegiance is to the Constitution of Nigeria. Our allegiance is not to any traditional ruler or religious leader. Our allegiance is strictly to the Constitution of Nigeria. Some people have taken advantage of the fact that most Nigerians don't understand their basic human rights and their rights as citizens of Nigeria. And then they railroad them and fry them like a cara. So this is what we want to change. What we are trying to do is to insert a new in Nigeria, right? A new thinking. We're thinking that we help Nigerians think like Nigeria is their mother that they must protect, like Nigeria is their father that they must defend, and not from the prism of anybody, but from the prism of they as Nigerians with full rights to the citizenship of Nigeria. So that's what we are going to be talking about. So we're going to say certain things that you may seem offensive to you, but we will that first of all, you are Africans. Yes, before you became a Muslim or before you became a Christian, and then you are Nigerians, and to Nigeria you owe some duties. Yes, very sacred responsibilities, and these duties are enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria, to which all of us must owe allegiance. I didn't say you owe allegiance to Saad Abubakar, the fake Fulani Sultan in Sokoto, the Oba of Benin. You don't owe them any allegiance. You are a citizen just like they are. Their citizenship is not bigger than yours. It's just because we do not understand who we are as a people and our rights. So this is what we are going to be telling you. Now, first of all, I'm going to read an article on Sharia. All right? And for your understanding, the understanding of every Nigerian. All right. Nigerians, remember, you're Africans. Remember, first of all, Nigerians before anything. So if anything, you have to put Nigeria first before anything. Okay? Islam, Christianity is not, they are not gods. The Almighty God is one supreme person. And that is the person, depending what name you call it, in your dialect. Yes, that is the man. That's only one person. All right? Okay. Sharia law in elitist Fulani northern Nigeria and the hypocrisy surrounding it. I will only was used to prosecute all the thieving elitist Fulani Muslims who have stolen Nigeria dead, and not the poor who have been victims of the legal and religious hypocrisy. Introducing Sharia, Roman or canon law in a secular and constitutional Nigeria is a serious act of aggression against Nigeria and its African diversity, which has nothing to do with the Arab, Roman, or European were used and are still being used as tools for the enslavement, colonization, abuse, and exploitation of Africa and the African people since the past over 2,000 years. If anything, we should start uprooting those allergic and un-African traditions where they exist and undoing the damages that they have been causing generations of our people and before they brought their disruptions. No religion should make anyone a stranger to himself and an enemy to his brother or sister who share varying religious beliefs, unless such an individual is a fool. That is on Sharia.
Well,
What is your take?
I'm going to tell you this.
Yes.
I enrolled in and was accepted at the law program at ABU in Zaria. The first year course is Islamic law and jurisprudence. I studied Sharia, penal code. You don't get into a law program in ABU without first of all knocking that off. So I understand Sharia. I may not have all my facts straight. Until 2 years ago, I was a Catholic. I was an altar boy, a Christian. But I come to see that these religions, these foreign religions, if man started in Africa, why is it that an Arab, a Jew, a European, an Indian, or whatever will be the intermediary between God and an African? Why must I take the value of an Arab or a Jew or European about God with full disregard of my own native religion? All these foreign religions, they are based on prayer. Prayer. You know how many times, how many hours Nigerians, let's say Muslims, spend on prayer every day? 5 prayers, 30 minutes a pop. That is like 250 million hours that can be used for fruitful work. Fast for 30 days and pray for a plate of rice and see if you get it. They are fraudulent religions. They are like baying to the moon. They don't add anything to human value. All the prayers that Nigeria has been saying since independence has not provided us anything. All that notion of God based on Christian and Islamic traditions is fake. Me, as a follower of Chukwu Okike, the God of existence, who has no son, no daughter, no relative, no partner, no messenger, no prophet, do not follow 10 commandments. Ayajoku teaches me only one commandment: do unto others as you would like to be done unto you. It makes me feel sick that somebody will come and take an Arab value and try to impose it on me as a Nigerian, or take a European, an Amharic, Jewish, whatever value, and tell me that is what God is. Whereas my own people know what is right and wrong. We don't want nothing, zilch, to do with Sharia, and it will not hold in Nigeria. And I want everybody who is counting on this will happen and that will happen to understand that the geopolitics has changed. We cannot have most of Asia, the Middle East, Africa, always at war with each other, killing each other, based on what Arabs say, or based on what Europeans say. I am too full of myself to walk around thinking that another race is superior to me. The way I conduct myself is that I am equal to everybody, otherwise I am superior. I'm a black man, hematite. Let me tell you this. In a classroom of 30 kids, when the bell rings for recess, chances are that the first boy or girl to jump out of the door will be a black kid. Why is that? Because they are the healthiest, they are the strongest, they are the fittest. And if you are fit, it means that your brain is malleable to learning any new skills. I raise my kids like that, and they are in the top 1%, Russian, Indian, German, or Jew. I cannot have illiterates, nincompoops, under any flag coming to threaten me. I went to Army Children's School, Kaduna. I know the history of Nigeria. I was present during the January 15 coup in Kaduna. I witnessed soldiers at Kaduna railway station when that was the major infrastructure other than the old aerodrome. And I was in trains with other Igbos traveling from the north back to the east. And we are attacked en route by stone throwing people. And that was why I insisted on joining the Biafran army. And even though they refused me several times to enlist, finally they found a role for me in interpretation, the interviewing of stragglers. So religion in Nigeria for me is nothing. I don't want to hear anybody trying to claim any position based on religion. They can take that bullshit somewhere else.
All right, Mr. Gumba, thank you very much. Bangida, Bill Anderson, Samaila, how are you? And Africa G7Z. All right, welcome. I hear what you said. But again, like I told you, we know we are going to be stepping on toes. And the toes we step on are the toes of people who do not want to elevate their consciousness as Africans. So I am not surprised by at yourself in the mirror. All right, check your skin color and find out where you were born. I hope you were born in Africa. All right, and even if you are not born in Africa, because I have children here who were born here in the United States, and they know that they are Africans. And when you ask them where are they from, they will tell you my hometown. They will tell you Nigeria. All right, and they will tell you Africa, and they are in tune with what I'm doing. So if you are a young man, I feel sad if perhaps if you are born in Nigeria or elsewhere in Africa, you have this thinking. I feel sad, but I'm going to read out what you said later. But let me welcome other people. Um, um, Omar for joining. And Gal Foxy, hey, my dear good friend. It's a pleasure seeing you here from the UK. Yes, we are not about anything but about the good of Nigeria and the whole of Africa. That is what we represent. So, and I don't want to deal with any distraction right now. Let's go to this message. All right, again, there is
And
another
let
article
me
that
say
I'm going to
something
read.
to you.
Yes, go ahead.
When you mentioned the name Babangida just now, it triggered something in my mind. Let me tell you this. I grew up with Patricia Okobu.
Yes.
Patricia Okobu, Patricia Okobu, their father worked at Ministry of Works in Kaduna. He drove a Citroen car. The first time I watched television in my whole life, and God is my witness, is in their living room. And
Wow.
it was Bonanza. Dan Blocker, Panel, Robert, Michael, London, Long Green. Dan, 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 dan. The first car that Chief Sonny Okobu drove in his life was a Russian SUV that was sold in a car dealership on the I don't remember, Market Road in Kaduna. It was a small SUV. It's akin to a Honda CVR. That's about the size. There was the German, Olga is Volga or something. There was a Russian car dealership that came to Nigeria in the late 70s. That was Sonny Okobu's first car.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
grew up with Mariam. Her name is Patricia Okobu.
That was
She made
Babangida's wife.
Yes, they made their
Wow.
name. They made their name by singing in a program on RKTV, Radio Kaduna Television. She used to sing this song, My Boy Lollipop, da dan 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 da, you make my heart go giddy up, on Radio Kaduna. She was the
Wow.
doyen of
Wow.
Kaduna. In the Mood is a Sunday night program. That is where Babangida saw her. I know Kaduna like the back of my hand. I know the people who ran Nigeria and handed over to these teams now. So
Wow.
let me say that.
All right. All right. Now, another article. Listen carefully. Yeah, because I'm going to, yes. Well, how we got to where we are is one thing. But a lot of Nigerians don't understand that there are long-term consequences for bad choices, bad behaviors. Now, all they are seeing now is a multiplication in a massive form that they cannot comprehend about what is taking place in Nigeria. And when you tell them that they were all part of what happened, they find it difficult and sometimes get offended by telling them. But I'm going to give them the anatomy of partly how we got to where we are right now. All right. The dire that gave a determined, repressive, destructive, disrespectful, intolerant, bigoted, hypocritical, insensitive, inhumane, savage, violent, mischievous, unpatriotic, and un-Nigerian, and post-driven elites from a minority ethnic group. The blanket opportunity to seize their country and rule its people with an iron fist. Open Nigeria's question of the day for Nigerians. Dear Nigerians, I hope you're going to be sharing this message. We are not playing. Share this message. I want those who are going to be angry to be about why is this guy or these guys doing what they are doing. We are not doing it because we hate people or we hate anybody. We are doing it because we want to bring facts, to the people of Nigeria to dissect, to find out why they are where they are. The biggest problem people have with the people of Nigeria is we don't introspect. We don't ask ourselves questions. We blame God. We keep praying. Prayer is not going to answer anything if you don't question yourselves. You don't question your history. If you don't interrogate your environment. And this is what the black man and especially the Nigerians have been failing to do. All right. How come Nigerians, especially those failures from other ethnic nationalities who call themselves elites, generationally went to sleep as second-class citizens, while a class of vicious elitist rogues from the smallest, large, and deep mass grave that has now become most difficult to climb out from for the country and its overwhelming majority population. To install their crushing apartheid system and minority rule, with which they have been violently controlling the country's destiny and its resources since independence, unchallenged, except for once by the Igbos, who were forced to defend themselves, abused might of the Nigerian military in an unprovoked genocide, manipulated by the British-backed Boer-like nepotistic tribal elements from the Fulani race and their long-term elitist accomplices from especially the Southwest, a few mercantile Igbo saboteurs, and others from elsewhere in the Nigerian contraption that must now be dismantled. Intentional country that everyone can call home and live in peace and harmony with each other. Fulani elites, who are the lights of the Fulani race, don't love Nigeria and they don't trust other Nigerians, except they have something to immediately benefit from their close association with anybody or group they want to use as a vehicle to get to their destination. And once they get what they want, they, Nigeria is not their goal or dream country, but the country's vast mineral and natural resources to which they have become addicted and which they have brazenly mismanaged as drivers of the country's destiny to the detriment of all of us is crucial and most strategic to their mission to establishing their rogue Islamic Fulani nation from where African sub-region and ultimately Africa. A handy case study of their strategy is the Hausas.
We have lost sound. I can't hear you. Yes, we seem to have lost sound. Why have we lost sound? Well, if you can hear me, yeah, I can't. I can. Yes, I can't hear you either. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? For some reason, we lost sound on your part because it just cut off. Yes, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. Reconfigure and let the interview continue.
Hello?
Now we are back. Let's
Okay.
not mind the the inconvenience and so on. Let us continue with this.
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. And before you continue, let me say, I don't wear this face every time. I
Your
used to be
phone,
told,
your phone has continued to call me. That is the
wow,
reason.
is that
Check your
why?
phone. The one that is calling and shut it down. I think it's the same phone you are using. Just turn it off and come back.
Okay, that's what I will do.
Yeah, turn it off and come back. That's why that is what the reason for the disruption. We apologize for these disruptions. Hoping that he's able to reset his phone so we can continue. Well, our sincere apologies. But I want to know that everybody is hearing me. Are you hearing me? Please, if you are hearing me, indicate by saying yes. Just type yes so that I know that I am being heard. I don't know why. Is everybody hearing me, please? Can you type yes if you are hearing me? Okay, thank you very much, Evelyn. Thank you. Yes, I'm trying to get him to reset his phone. So in between, the phone has been calling. All right, thank you very much. One love. Thank you. Yes, phone is calling. Let me call him on the other phone. Just give me a second, please. Yeah. All right. Hey, my apologies. My apologies. Is back. Okay.
Yes. Hopefully, he will not call you again.
I hope it doesn't call again. All right.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Let me.
Now I'm gonna
I heard most of what you were
address.
saying. Okay. I just need to say something.
Go ahead.
You were wondering how did all of this happen?
Yes.
Well, what happened was that the Fulani used the same playbook that they are employing against Nigeria right now. They overran Hausa. Okay, they did. But they are very bad overseers. All the Arewa that they created, which included Christian, Benue, Plateau, and so on, they fraudulently deceived all of them, including Hausa. But in life, they say every day for the thief, one day for the owner. The people that they brought in into Nigeria, into truckloads, they did not cancel them properly to say, do not attack Hausa. Hausa is our backbone. The Fulani made a very, very serious tactical error by attacking Hausa because Hausas are the ones who carry their water. Once they attacked Hausa, They lost it in Nigeria. Everything from here on is downhill. Saad Abubakar and his cousins in Bauchi, in Zaria, and in everywhere else, they better abdicate to the UAE, those people who supply them those weapons. We have a freaking Nigerian government that cannot tell us boldly where our enemies are getting their funding, how these airplanes deliver these motorcycles that do not, these helicopters deliver these motorcycles and guns and so on. They came into our country in truckloads, melted into the forest as agreed, and had weapons dropped for them wherever they are strategically against Nigeria. But that is their undoing. They are not going home. Not one of them will leave Nigeria alive. The tide has changed. Sharia, Islam, Fulani, anybody trying to dominate Nigeria is at the losing end. It will not happen. I wear this face. I wake up angry every day. I wear this face. When I was young, I was told I was as good looking as at least 60% of all males of my own age group. All these furrows in my face is continuous anger. And let me tell you one thing, for your enemy, do not do to your enemy the same thing they do to you. You have to do to them 2 times as much. If they are heinous, we have to hate them and be wicked towards them more than 2 times so that we can put the fear of God in them. Nina Chalida Inusa, G. Kambarnawa, Biafran Army number 211373. I have had at least 5 phone numbers since coming to America. I don't even remember those phone numbers anymore. I've had at least 5 phone numbers since 1990. But I still remember it. My Biafran Army enlistment number is etched in my brain. There's no retreat on this. And Igbo people who talk about Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, who want to carry the plate so that they can, eat crumbs. We have gold in Zamfara. We cannot use it together. And Kumi is saying the militants that we are giving amnesty are the same. Are these Fulanis attacking people in Zamfara? Are they protecting their gold or what? Are they Nigerians? The Fulani incursion into Nigeria is not more than 250 years old. They're not Nigerians. We admitted them. And they can, they're not originally Nigerians, is what I mean. I will not take away the citizenship of those who are Nigerians now. But one thing is that they can't come to Nigeria and lord over us. And we cannot accept people who sit on the fence, who do not know that they must preserve their country for their grandchildren to inherit.
Yes, that was where I was going to before we had this disruption. I don't know how much you heard. I may have to read it again for the benefit of our listeners from across Nigeria, because that point is very, very important. Because I've always known about how come we have these extremist Fulanis who obviously are on a mission to destroy Nigeria. And then we have people from other parts of Nigeria. They meet at the National Assembly and they are not able to argue points. They allow these people, and when It is something that they give to the people from other parts of Nigeria at the National Assembly for them to go to sleep and allow this minority destroy our country.
No,
That's what I
they
was.
seized our government. All
Yes.
those legislators have a gun pointed to their head. They
Who,
cannot
who,
say
is
it.
who is pointing the guns?
The Fulanis, they
So
run
why
our.
are they not coming back? Why are they not coming back to the people to tell them, hey, guns are being pointed at us? I'm going to have to read that in again on this gun being pointed at her. I don't think it's gone. I think it's corrupt. And I think it's because of the low quality of people. They can't point guns at me if I were at that National Assembly and I succumb. No, they're not going to point guns at me.
No,
And then,
they threaten all Nigerians. You cannot
yes.
even criticize the government in Nigeria. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
These legislators, when they are driving to work every day, they see Nigerian army, they see soldiers beating citizens to the pulp on the streets, beating the snot out of Nigerians. They see police shaking down Nigerians, I mean, extorting them, and they still drive to work and are not able to bring up a bill to say, hey, we need to reorganize how these people provide security.
Mhm.
In what democratic country will you have the army doing police work? Why will the army be doing police work? Why will I have in my village somebody from Kazaure as the police DPO in my village? My village wants, my community, my local government wants to have its own police, you know, enlisted from residents of the community who know where the bad guys live from childhood, where they congregate. We don't want police in my village to have to be overseen by somebody off-site whose whole job is to bend justice. They can have one central clearinghouse for training their police so that they will enforce uniform laws in Nigeria. We can't have on uniform laws, one Sharia, one of these. Everything about Nigeria is fraudulent. There's nothing I like about Nigeria. I don't wear their clothes. I don't eat their food. I don't listen to their music. If you look at my music on Facebook, it's all rock. And it's not just ordinary rock, it's metal. Because even me, I'm a crazy person on my own. Why? Because I was trained to fight the Nigerian army behind enemy lines. From Emekuku to Owerri, Dimerienwe, Okomoko, Apok, Ipo, Abara, Ozoaya, Umudeme. We put them on a tailspin because my commander, Lars Njoku, B0098, was the 98th officer commissioned in Biafra at Officer Candidate School, Okonano. He was Nzogu's intelligence officer. When Nzogu died at 5th Battalion Enugu, at the Suka sector, they charged Lars Njoku to set up Rangers Guerrilla Regiment, the guerrilla battalion. And if any Nigerian commander can say they were good, let them recount what happened from Emekuku to Imerienwe. These bastards took over. These Nigerian vandals, Fulani controlled Nigeria. They took over. But we took over from them, pushed them to, like I said, Imerienwe, to Okomoko, to Ipo, Abara. We put them on a tailspin. I hate the Nigerian government, the way it works. This is a country with no roads, no good health outcomes for Nigeria. Some people live like Arab princes, and we can't challenge them. And we say, go softly. Why will we go softly? Here, if I am driving and I feel like I need to use a restroom, all I need to do is find one within 3 minutes of me. Nigeria has about the most educated people. They pee on the streets. They eat themselves on the streets. Everything about Nigeria is just corrupt, useless. Everything, everything. And we are growing people, we are growing communities that have no rights. And they say you shouldn't fight for it. You shouldn't fight to have a fairly good country. Why? Nigeria should be the example of Africa because 1 out of every 6 black person is a Nigerian. Out of every 6 black person in the world. If good governance exists in Nigeria, Africa will emulate it. It is only in Africa that you do not have we the people. We the people means that you tell the government what to do, not the government telling you what to do. All over Africa, bar none, there is no community police. Here in my city of barely 70,000 people, we have our own autonomous police and sheriff that do not report to anybody. If Donald Trump's son hits somebody at a crossroad here, they will arrest him here and he will go to jail here, prosecuted here. They're not going to refer it to any provincial capital. What has happened in Africa is that the British people handed power to Africans, but did not give them the same establishments that they have. Leeds Police, Liverpool Police, Manchester Police, they are all autonomous. And in Nigeria, we have a federal police controlled by Fulani. We have to change the whole Nigeria. We have to litter that whole system.
Yes.
There is nothing good about Nigeria. Anybody who tells you there's something good about Nigeria, he's gaining something from it because there are people who have cornered the economy and keep children in classrooms with leaking roofs, no ceilings, no air conditioning, no chairs. 70 years after independence, in a country with a lot of money from oil revenue, and we have Fulani, because I don't want to say Islam. Although they are, because the type of Islam they practice is not the Islam that burns. Imagine burning people praying. I thought prayer houses were sacred places.
That's what it's supposed to
They
be.
commit rape inside mosques, seal the doors of mosques with praying people inside, and set it on fire. Set buses on fire. And you say these people are preaching a religion.
No, they don't
What
have
type of
religion.
religion is that?
No. No,
You
no.
listen to, if you read Islamic text, the Quran, there are some portions of it that are very humane. The tenet of Islam is surrender to God, to the will of God, to not take the law into your hand. When somebody hurts you, you leave it to God. The people who acquired that value are Hausa. That is why they are peace loving. They are soft. No matter what you do to them, they leave it to God. But eventually, when terrorists start chasing pregnant women, old and aged, the young, people fleeing for their life, in Igbo language, we said, Osondu Agwike. Any person running for their life will never be short of breath, except you are not facing the business end of an AK. They ridiculed our country, made a morass of it, no law. And people say, don't call it the zoo. Don't call it the zoo. What is it? What is it if it's not a zoo? Children can't go to school. Graduates spend 8 years in school because of closure after closure after closure after strike. And people cannot graduate. When they finally graduate, they don't even remember what their major was.
Mm.
I have a neighbor in my community here. He's Japanese. He's an engineer. His father is 93 years old. His father was a medical doctor. His father doesn't work anymore. He asked me one day, I'm going to just pull out a name because I don't remember the name again. Do you know Dr. So, 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 so? I said, no. He said, well, that is his dad's physician. That his dad swears that that is the best medical doctor in the world. I say, ha, 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 ha. There are hundreds of Nigerian doctors like that. All over the world, especially in diaspora, Nigerians make it a credit to their country. At home, what we have is a band of bandits and terrorists, people hiding behind religion. You're gonna make me curse because I'm getting mad. You cannot face your enemy on a tit for tat. You got to be able to develop wickedness against your enemy. Because anybody coming for my life does not deserve to live, not even their grandmother.
Mm. All right. Wow. Now, the country is where it is. The country is roundly compromised. What do you think is the way forward for the people of Nigeria?
If America comes, it will be great. If they don't come, the Nigerian army will be accosted at every corner. They will be spread thin. The Igbos can source their own weapons. If they don't source it on time, they can build it. We built airfields in 7 weeks. We built Uli and Uga Airport in 7 weeks. We built missiles and targeted them with payload, and they delivered it on target. We could have been. I knew when defense industries in Kaduna started around 1963. Up till today, it can barely machine a gun. What they will do is they will put one Fulani man with Babariga, and he got to sit there in administrative position and steal all the money. Steal all the money, dragging us down. And everybody saying one Nigeria. What do we want one Nigeria for? But unfortunately, if America does not come, guns will be available. And when guns are not available, Hausa has turned against Fulani. Atiku Abubakar is wasting his time. It does not matter how many condolence visits he has, he's given, who is commending in Nigeria. He's trying to appear like somebody who has, a national consciousness. He is just waiting for his own turn. He has what he stole. This is a guy who has never done any business in Nigeria except work in government, from customs controller to government. He's a billionaire several times over from stealing, and he wants to go back. Well, Hausa people will not vote. I can guarantee you that Hausa people are not going to vote for any Fulani, I will work with groups that will set up Hausa Consultative Forum, just like they have Arewa. There's nothing like Arewa Consultative Forum. That is a Fulani organization, and they make it Arewa. And you hear people like Paul Unongo, who is what are these people who are closest to Suka? You know, uh, you know,
The thief?
not it's not the thief. Before the thief, they are also Idoma.
Yes.
He's an Idoma man. What the F is he doing in Arewa Consultative Forum? They give all of those people chump change and make it look representative. And they have no voice. Is he dead or alive now, Paul Unongo?
I don't know
So
where he's. I
yeah,
guess he's still alive.
he's probably dead or whatever.
Now, Mr. Ogumba,
Yes.
um, it is from what we have seen um, in the past few days, the names of those who are they are all Fulanis, all, no exception, all Fulanis. And then some people still come out and want us not to talk about it. You know, I analyze the way I qualify the use of Fulani elites. I am not saying all Fulanis. You know, what they say now is that I hate Fulanis because not many Nigerians have been bold enough to tell Nigeria. The evidence is overwhelming. Why is it that it is all Fulanis that are involved with these behaviors that are uh, compromising the national security of Nigeria to the extent of destabilizing the country? Don't
Okay.
you think it is something sinister? Can we call that?
My
Say that
screen
is a joke.
my screen has
Yes.
frozen again. I don't know
Oh,
why, but
but that phone is still calling me. Did you turn the two phones off and turn
no,
them back
I
on?
did. Yes, I did. I
I
did.
don't know why. I don't know why the phone is calling.
It shouldn't be
Okay.
calling. It should. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's continue.
But
Now,
can you
did you
hear
hear
me?
what I just
Can
said?
you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay. You know. Yeah. But in one of the lists, I saw the name of a Emefiele. Call a dog a bad name. You know.
Yes,
Yes. They just knock it like that to look as if there
they
is
make it.
no.
Yeah,
And let me
he's the
tell
only
you this.
one.
Let me
Emefiele
tell
is
you
from
this.
my hometown.
No,
We are
I
from the
don't
same
tell you.
place.
I, I,
Yeah,
I
he's.
don't tell you that I will
Mm,
never tell you that I exempt any Fulani
yes.
because those of them who are not actively participating in the route of Nigeria are beneficiaries of that system. They have not learned their voice loud enough, to castigate or admonish their people. They have been quiet or subdued. So I consider all of them like that.
Yes,
Yes. And I don't
that's one
I
thing.
yeah, I
You
don't
hardly
I
you
have no
hardly see
problem.
them.
I have no problem with using the word hate that I hate Fulani. I do.
Yes.
I do. Because you have to hate your enemy. How the hell then can your enemy will not, I'm used to dealing with in the guerrilla battalion, in the guerrilla regiment. My mentality, the way it is wired, is that it does not matter the size of your adversary. Look for his jugular. It does not matter the size of your adversary. Look for his jugular. We never fought an enemy that we were at par with. They were always stronger. In all these things that is going on, you have still not heard a British position on it. You have still not had the main people who cause it. They are like, okay, we set up your country and left it in your hands. You set up a fraudulent system for us. What were the British smoking when they gave the rulership of the least educated people in Nigeria to run Nigeria so that they can channel all procurement contracts? You know, they used to have one single clearinghouse. I've forgotten the name of that. You know, the UK contracting organization. They put it in Fulani so that Fulani will put Nigeria under their own hands.
Wow. Yes. And what is taking place? What do you think? Do you think? Do you think, honestly, if you ask me, people, when they talk about 2027, I feel like I will. So, are we going to extend, wait until our people, the whole country is murdered before we take action? Why are we talking about 2027? Because you made mention of 2027. What use is 2027 to this minute when a lot of our people are being murdered on daily basis? Why
Well,
should
if America comes to Nigeria, like they say they will come, they will scrub that government. That army will be demobilized. That's for sure. If it doesn't happen and all these problems continue and we have a 2027, one thing you can be sure of is that there will be no Fulani legislators. I know that Benue
how is
people,
that?
because Hausa people now have seen the cause of their backwardness. You have 40 something local governments in Kano. 87% of the population is Hausa. Not more than 3 local government chairmen in Kano State are Hausa. Fulani, you stopped everything.
Now, how are they going to? How are they going? Them not in control of the INEC. How are they going to guard their votes? Or are you talking about another Nigeria? How is this going to happen?
Okay,
Seriously.
let me give you an example of this. Uh,
Yes.
when Nigeria, when the military government instituted a, constitution redrafting committee that adopted the presidential system of government, which is the American system, when they jettisoned the British parliamentary system, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars trucking Nigerian civil servants, government workers, to come to America and train in shifts of how to operate the presidential system of government. What did the Fulanis do with that constitution that was adopted? They scrubbed it of all accountability and made sure they included all the perks of it. That was when you started hearing media aid to the medicine. Everybody, the media aid has its own media aid. They took all the trappings of executive government, His Excellency. Why in the hell are we going to be using that term, Excellency, for a Nigerian government official? Can you imagine a Nigerian government official being excellent, even in your dream?
Excellent.
They just created a whole maze of fraud in Nigeria. And they want you to approach them tamely, to not, to not be vocal. I am proud of my hate for them.
Okay. I have a concern about how we are going to go to the polls in 2027 with a rogue president who never won an election. He came from the periphery when he did not have the levers of power to do anything but with the help of Fulani elites and the compromise of the national security architecture, the judicial, the
That don't
compromise
care.
of the Nigerian constitution. Now he has everything in his hand. I'm trying to wonder, really, I don't know. I don't have a pathway to it. Me, I don't pray for it. I don't want to I don't want to see a political 2027 for Nigeria. I want the entire political infrastructure in Nigeria dismantled, because this wishy-washy part of it is not going to lead us anywhere but an improved destructive catastrophic end of the country, unless that is what we want. I don't see anything coming out of Bala Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, him conducting an election and the majority, the true majority, truly vote and their votes are heard. I don't see it happening. Really, I don't. I wonder how the pathway. I'll be very happy to see it happen. But who is going to be there? The same people. It's the same people that we are talking about, man. Yeah,
This
the same
man,
people.
this
Starting from
man,
your place, starting from my own area,
this
you know,
man,
wanted to lead Nigeria.
as governor of Lagos State,
Mhm.
stole so much tax money.
Yes,
It was heinous.
yes.
When he was running for president, he had football fields lined up bumper to bumper with SUVs that would be involved in the campaign. Who does that? These vehicles were never retrieved from the people they were given to. There's no need because he stole more than that. And that's how Nigerians steal money. And we don't have roads. And we don't have nothing. A country so blessed. We must
Mhm.
band together and F Fulani where the sun does not shine and without
That is
Vaseline.
yeah, that is the $1 million question. How is this going to be done? Is it with Atiku as a vector, or El Rufai, those who funded terrorism? Because they have just moved to another party that they call ADC. They are the
No,
ones driving the destiny of that damn party. So
their
I'm trying to
names,
wonder, it scratched my head to see how this is going to happen.
their names will be on playing cards.
And they
If
have said,
they
we
if,
don't want this anymore.
if they have any sense, they have to abdicate now, leave Nigeria, escape to the UAE, who has been funded this terrorism together with Iran and other Arab countries. If they have any sense, they have to abdicate now, but because they will all be rounded up. El Rufai is of no consequence anymore. They have lost their leverage.
Okay, hey, GAD Beat, hey, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. Busola Onikoyi, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Hassan Aremo, yes, you are on to ONN, the voice of Nigeria, Africa, and the world. And with me to something very important to us. What happened? Spirit and really want to destroy and through destabilizing Nigeria. If you look at what is taking place in the country, this is not a joke anymore. Before this time, yes, thank you very much, Olabi. We appreciate you, Suraju. Yes, thank you very much for joining us. And if you are joining us for the very first time, please kindly subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button so that when we come with another historic message, But the way forward for Nigeria will be one of the very first to receive those notifications. Where we don't hate, we are not tribalistic. We speak the truth raw, the way it is, the way the Nigerian mainstream media will not say it because their drivers are driven by economics. Yes, thank you very much, Olabi. Yes, so we don't hate anybody. We want the best for our country, but we are not going to close our eyes. One group of people from one ethnic group in Nigeria decide to country that our founding fathers fought so hard, but sadly they didn't do enough to put up a foundation for the takeoff of a nation, and that is what we are having troubles with it. But they did their part. But what about we that are living today? Yes, the nature inspires us to investigate our environment, challenge our environment, interrogate our environment, make things work if we are truly serious about before you and I, are we interested in building a country? Yes, there are some who are interested in building a country. Yes, but there are some who want to pull down the country. Yes, and looking at the history of Nigeria, history before 1914, the history of the conquest of the Hausa people by the Fulanis. Yes, this year it will be 221 years since the Hausa people have been living under the subjugation of the Fulani elites. Yeah, let me tell you, they call them sheikhs. All right. Now, now at independence, or we got to the amalgamation juncture of the Nigerian history. Yes, the amalgamation juncture. See, the amalgamation was um, the result of the after effect of the European what do you call it, Berlin Conference that took place in Germany. All right, Berlin, 1884 and 1885. After that conference, that was where the Europeans, decided to move spheres of influence. They sent their religious missionaries. All right, they were having Bibles in their hands, telling us about the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, but they had their tips, and they were measuring our lands, looking for mineral resources. They mapped up all those places, and that was where you hear about Mungo Park, Clapperton Brothers, and the rest of us. And then they made us write history, and we agreed that Mungo Park discovered the River Niger that our ancestors have fished in, drank from. We agree. They put it in our textbooks and they set exams with them. We agree that Mungo Park was the man who discovered River Niger. Landa Brothers came after, Clapperton came. All right? We agreed all this. If you can agree to that, you would have agreed to everything that they told you in the name of Jesus that were a lie. And you fail to understand too that Bible that they talk about, the Quran that the Arabs wrote, with which they enslaved our people for 700 solid years. You know where you are coming from. The problem we have is that a great number of us don't know who we are because we don't go and question our history. The Arabs that gave us Quran and Islam, they enslaved the African man for 700 years. And
Make
during
them
those 700
eunuchs.
years,
Make them eunuchs.
yes, they made all of them, they
All
castrated
of
all of
them
them.
in whose side
All
of
of
the
them.
house are eunuchs,
Yes.
castrated.
Assuming they were taking 1 million Africans, they castrated all of them. That's billions of testicles, African testicles, that were castrated.
If you hit those testicles together, they will be like those glass eye frames in
Yes.
Auschwitz. You
Yes,
know
that's what they
where
did.
the Germans, where they dumped the eye, the girl wearing something of juice. That
Yes.
that will
They,
have been like the hip of the testicles that Arabs
absolutely.
extracted from Nigeria, from
Absolutely.
Africans.
Absolutely. And they did this without anesthesia, without antibiotics that would prevent infection. And I'm
I
sure a
don't
lot
have
of people
I
died.
don't have any problem with
No,
religion
I'm
because
building
see,
up something.
yeah,
I'm
even in the Bible, they say when you hear his voice, harden not your heart. There
yes.
are statements in the Quran that make rational sense. But anybody who has sense will be able to know to honor your father and your mother.
Man,
yes.
I think that comes that he gave you that. Even nobody needs to teach you how to be responsible and love your father and mother. You don't need any teacher telling you
And
that. It's
yeah,
ingrained.
and not
That
to
is why we talk
embezzle other
about
people's money or other
yes,
people's trust.
yes,
Abuse other people's trust.
yes. So
You don't need
they did
religion to
that,
teach you that.
and then gave us their own pathway to God. We accepted that. The Europeans came, yes, 400 that. They made sure that we became strangers to ourselves and enemies to fellow black people, fellow Africans. And for over 2,000 years, we still cannot get it together to understand that something is not right. Why is it that we are from the continent that has over 45% of the Earth's resources, if not even more? Why is it that we are the poorest people? Why is it that they prosper off around and give us aid? And now we have become addicted to those aid. We even expect them to come to give us this aid. Yes. And we still can't get it. That something is not right.
America is the
Yes.
beautiful country that it is
Yes.
because everybody who is a sane, non criminal adult has access to firearms for use in protecting their rights, in protecting property they have lawfully acquired, and in protecting their loved ones. We will not live in a country where we are stripped of the right to own firearms to defend ourselves from people who prey on us and whom our government cannot defend us from. And every time you see a gruesome event happen in Nigeria, um, 300, 500 school children abducted, you never see the mother effer call Tinubu, come to the podium and address Nigerians as a matter of urgency. All you see him, he just sits because his money, he's siphoning his money to Malta. That's all he's doing there and sitting there. He's just a midwife sitting over Nigeria, not doing anything. Let me freaking hear one Yoruba man say that this is what is good for Nigeria.
Now we are here. We are here. We are in a dire strait. The point I was building is one group of people from one have all been exposed as responsible for what is taking place in our country. Can you call that accident? Can you call that? How come it's only the Fulanis? How come it's only the Fulani elites that are funding terrorism, that are bringing Fulanis from across Africa to jump on Nigeria? How come we are not
Listen,
seeing Yorubas? How
see,
come we are not seeing Igbos bringing people from Cameroon to fight, to jump on Nigeria, to go to villages and ransack them, seize the villages, and then establish their tents there everywhere that they have seized?
if you think,
Original owners are in IDP camps. What
if
can be
you
done to reverse this trend? How
if
are
you
those people who are displaced today how are they going to be able to return to their abodes?
if you think that you are suffering in Nigeria because of all this terrorism that started from around 2008, 2009, and so on to today, you should have some sympathy for Hausa who have been under it for 220 something, 21 years. Fulani did not go into Ghana. They did not go into Benin Republic or any of those places. They came from Futajalon above and descended on Nigeria. And the thing is, when they took control of Hausa, it became inevitable that Nigeria was toast. They fooled Hausa to thinking they are one with them. But ask yourself, how many Hausa have ever been governor of a state in Nigeria? How many Hausa has ever been president? All of that is going to change. All of that will change. And if you, like me, I've had Fulani benefactors, but damn it, they use Nigeria's resources to benefit me. It's not their own. I cannot be overly grateful to them. There used to be a time when if you are going to ABU, they provide you as much bursary. Students in ABU got as much money as they will need, as they will use. But all those students, 90% of them are Fulani. They're not Hausa, they are Fulani. Very few of them. Bayero University in Kano, because those were the two, it's ABU then Bayero, before all this stuff began to spring up. So it's Fulani. They have sat on Hausa's neck forever, and they used Hausa to run Nigeria. It is easy. When you capture the largest segment of the Nigerian population, then you can twist Nigeria as you like. It's just that they have run out of luck. They have run out of luck. It is even easier now. Let them keep holding Nnamdi Kanu there. It is easier now to go to war against Nigeria because the Nigerian army will not be able to call on an Idoma man or a Birom or a gas man or a Fulani will not be able to use those people. And even those who are in the Nigerian army, sometimes I hear them when they say, hey, IPOB, make Kurita, this and this, we go do this to, and so on and so forth. Those people, they are the type of people who in Igbo land, we said, instead of breast milk, they were fed with pus. Pus. When you are fed with pus, you don't know what side of your bread has butter on it. When you sucked on pus instead of breast milk, how the hell are you going to know what side is butter and what side is not?
Now, let's talk about the Hausa people, the Hausa rebellion. I know you are a follower of what is taking place because you inspire a lot of the Hausa young people in Nigeria. What do you think about the Hausa rebellion and how far it is going to go?
Oh, eventually one day we are going to confer on Kaltume Alumbejitani, the firebrand who took on the same blood that ran in the veins of Amina of Zaria. Hausa people, in their multitudes, in their thousands, have become acutely aware that they are not one with Fulani. They don't even want to hear the moniker Hausa Fulani. There is no if you say Hausa Fulani, it means you don't know the name of your father. So that is what is going to happen. All of Hausa is becoming sensitized. We need that. Hausa is beginning to answer their name as an indigenous Nigerian tribe, that they are first of all Nigerians before they became Muslim or mostly Muslim.
Good, good. And Now, on the general, um, somebody just sent me a message on WhatsApp, and it's asking you to comment on the spread of Islam in Igbo land. Do you know anything about that?
Let me tell you, I will not quarrel with anybody who followed a religion based on their own
Conviction. Yeah.
conviction.
Yes.
But if you try to compel anybody to follow your belief, if you compel anybody, you try to compel anybody to follow your belief, and they do not put their foot on your ass, then maybe, because in Igbo land we pay dowry to marry. There are
Mm.
some people on whom no dowry was paid on their mother. So they were raised by women who do not know the difference between salt and baking powder.
Mm.
Yes, those people in Ebonyi, I even almost converted to Islam. I like some sides of it, the humane type part of Islam. There are
Mm.
beautiful aspects of Islam because when you see something that makes sense, there are parts of Christianity that make sense. There are parts of Islam that make sense. As for me, the only thing I take away from Christianity as a Catholic is the seven corporal works of mercy: to visit the sick, visit this, uh, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, you know, and so on and so forth. Humanity is one,
Absolutely.
and there are aspects of religion, but it's not divine. It's just freaking common sense. Everybody knows what goodness is.
Absolutely. Hey, Janet, I hope you're hearing Mr. Goomba address your question. That Mr. Goomba,
Yes.
a follow-up question. You said, but there are different brand of Islam. I have a lot of problems with the violent brand that kill people. What can you speak to that?
There is there is the band of Islam that went after Hussein, the grandson of the prophet, and killed him because they had economic interests. They knew that Islam has huge economic implication, and they made sure that they killed Hussein so that he does not inherit the caliphate of his father, of his grandfather, who is Muhammad. I say, peace be unto him. If you listen to some people from Mongolia or wherever, they can tell you things that is wrong with Jesus Christ, with Christianity, and so on. But we cannot throw the baby with the bathwater away. There are still some good aspects of these religions, but
Yes.
they are all just common sense. I'm not going to accept somebody who says, "Oh, slaves, be obedient to your mother,
To
to
your,
your."
to your
Huh?
master.
What kind of bullshit is that? You got to be lacking in faculty to just follow a religion. What an Arab man says. How can an Arab man be anywhere close to the ability of an Igbo man? Forget that, with the exception of oil that was found in Saudi Arabia and all this, and these Gulf states. How can an Arab man compare to an Igbo man in terms of resourcefulness? I'm not going to say ability, because if you have talent and you do not work on it, it's useless. If you have ability that you do not exercise, it's useless. So I'm not going to be, racially profiling and say one race is superior to the other. But I just believe that I am equal to anybody, and if you doubt it, then I'm superior.
Good, Mr. Gumba. You've been. We thank you very much for always, joining us at a very short notice, and it's been such a great evening. Evening, weeks after Donald Trump has issued a statement, yes, the Nigerian politicians, especially those at the National Assembly and their rogue presidency, they have seen themselves to be busy trying to, I would like to say, make amends. Not because I don't want to do anything that validates them, because to them, everybody there is illegal. But it looks like there is some that horizon. I heard the other day the fake Senate President Akpabio take on one senator from where? Which part of Nigeria is he from? On the issue saying that Donald Trump is on their neck and all that. So it looks like finally, for some time, though temporarily, I know they can never behave right because except sensible and responsible people are put in the issues that are of importance to the people of Nigeria. What do you see? What do you think about the what I call fake adjustment of attitude among the political class in Nigeria?
They are all scared for their lives. Because they're thinking that it could be possible that America will come. All of them, they are incompetent. Look at Matawale. Well, he used to be governor of where? Is it Katsina State or Zamfara, whatever.
Zamfara. It was
The,
Zamfara.
the MF is supposedly someone who has a PhD. He can't string two sentences together. And he had all his education in a British Commonwealth country. They did not teach him with some other language. He went to school throughout in English, and he can't speak it because they continue to pass their people. The same way we have generals in Nigeria. They go, they control the coffers of the country. They send somebody to the UK and pay the UK government hundreds of thousands per army officer or naval officer, whatever, to train that person for a 6 months course. When he comes back, they give him promotion. Another time again, if he wants to go on vacation, they approve an extra code for him because they are the ones who control the coffers. And then they write a check to the UK government. And these people go there just for participating. They don't have to do anything, just for enrolling in the course, attending it. They come back, they're promoted to major or to lieutenant colonel, to the next rank, and they continue to grow. Next thing you hear, they are major general. We have major generals enough to fill a football stadium.
It's sad. Sad.
It's a rubbish country wherever you see it. And we, as Biafrans, we don't want to, we will be in Nigeria if there is no Fulani in it. If there is no trace of Fulani anywhere near a legislative house, if they don't call any shots, absent of that, we will not share Nigeria with Fulani. We will want our own country. We're sick of this shit.
Hey, Ofori from Ghana, thank you very much for joining. Otito Jusun Kami, thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you. And please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button. We come online. We have a lot to talk about Nigeria. And in the future, both near and distant, if you wish to express your feelings, opinions about what is taking place in Nigeria, we'll be more than happy to, allow you a platform to do so at no cost to you, because we want every voice heard. We want everybody heard. We want to build a real Nigeria, not the fake that we have. You will agree with me, Nigeria is so fake. We have, for some reason, the tragedy of leadership provided by some criminals, rogues. Yes, essentially that we allowed over the course of 65 years to build a nest and then take over our strategic institutions, including the armed forces with which they hold us down every time we raise our fingers. We can't continue that country. So if you have anything, you want to say something, nobody should be afraid of being Nigerian.
Can,
Nobody should be afraid of
can you see me? Can you see me?
a Nigerian. Nobody should be afraid of any fellow Nigerian. Nobody should be afraid of the army of Nigeria. Real armies, you don't see them on the streets. Real armies are either in the barracks, learning more, training more, how to combat external aggressions, just like they should be combating Fulani terrorism and banditry or whatever they call it, the terrorism everywhere in the country that are the product of cross-border raids brought from across Africa by the corrupt and morally bankrupt Fulani elites holding Nigeria hostage for a very long time. They had the Hausa host, they have been holding the Hausa people in chains since 1804. That is 221 years today. Yes, at independence, they brought that mess into uh, a sovereign Nigeria, using the Hausa people as vehicles or tools to hold down the country. Why massacring? And they are silent because they share the same religious beliefs. Until recently, when the crack, decided to, that has been brewing, opened for the rest of Nigeria to see. These people will commit crimes in the name of the North. Yeah, that's how they call. When they commit crimes, they don't call themselves by their name. They commit these crimes. They rob Nigeria. They exploit Nigeria in the name of the North. But sadly, if you are one of those, I don't want to call anybody a northerner. Shackle. It's a shackle that benefits these corrupt and morally bankrupt Fulani elites. Yeah, they commit all kinds of atrocities in the name of the North, but they give absolutely nothing to the people of the North. They give them poverty. They give them ignorance. They give them disease. They give them illiteracy. Yes. Why their children are in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, some here in the United States, and a lot in the UK. And they put their own people in the bush and blackmail Nigeria into surrendering their rights to their citizenship of Nigeria. This is what is taking place right now. So if you don't know what is happening all this time, the pathology, the disease called Nigeria, now you know from people who are not afraid of saying it the way it is. We are unlike the mainstream media. We are not like Arise TV. We are not like what do you call it, the other one? What's the name of
Channel
that other?
3. Is it
Yeah,
channel?
no good TV stations. They will never tell the people the truth. They are murdering young Igbos in the southeast of Nigeria. You never hear no Nigerian news agency goes there. But they sit down at home. Punch is another useless Nigerian newspaper. They will sit down at home and write breaking news. They don't do investigative journalism. They don't see the number of people, young Nigerians who are being cut down. We have a country where when fellow Nigerians are being murdered, we say, oh, because they are Igbos, that it doesn't bother to you. Yeah, and it's coming to everybody. The porridge is not being served to everybody.
You know,
What can we do?
you know, if
Yes.
try to travel between Ilani and Omuara, or try to travel between Ondo and Idongle, or try to travel any portion of Nigeria between Ore and Shagamu, Every time you are traveling, you are carrying your heart in your hand because you don't know if in the next bend you are going to be encountering terrorists and we live with them. And you tell us not to oppose any government on whose watch this bullshit is happening, not to oppose it with every might of your being.
Yes.
I oppose the Nigerian system of government because there is nothing whatsoever that is good in it unless Africans have the ability to have their own autonomous police in their communities, unless we extricate the army from our streets. They have no business in African streets. A 50-mile radius of where I am, there is Camp Pendleton, and there is the Marine Training Camp at 29 Palms. Those two places is the training ground for the strongest, the fittest fighting force since the history of civilization. You don't see them when they are traveling. Maybe they are going on an exercise, take over the route. And if a driver overtakes their convoy, they chase him and beat the snot out of him. They are disciplined. In Africa, anybody carrying a gun will just arrest somebody anyhow and slap somebody and just slap them because they have a gun and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yes.
We're not,
Yes.
no, no. Why won't we fight such a government that allows such nonsense to be happening?
Yes.
And the more guns become readily available. Whether America comes or America does not, we will find a solution for it.
Yes. Talking about America coming. Now let's flip this. If the African Union was a true African Union, don't you think it would have been in their best place to invade Nigeria?
African Union,
Yes.
composed of countries whose
Yes.
leaders are all complicit in in the defrauding of Africa. African Union, African Union.
But do you think what do you think we can do to make African Union work better for the good of the African people?
The only people who can provide that leadership is Nigeria, and Nigeria is not. All of the other countries have been stripped of the resources to even stand on their own feet. They don't have the money to organize the logistics of even a company, talk of a battalion of soldiers to ferry them to another country to go and keep peace for 1 month. They don't have the money.
Wow. Are you a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians talking about the planned United States intervention in Nigeria? They express concern about the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Nigeria. Can you speak to that, for our audience to hear your point of view on that, this issue of territorial integrity and sovereignty of Nigeria? Do they really?
They are crying wolf. They want the status quo to remain. What sovereignty? How are we sovereign? And truckloads are coming from Niger, not processed by Nigerian immigration. If you go and apply for a Nigerian passport, have you seen any Nigerian with a Nigerian passport who did not pay up to 30,000 naira of that sheet paper they call currency to buy their passport. Have you seen any Nigerian with a passport in his pocket who did not pay a bribe for that passport? Try to bring a company of, say, industrialists from the US to Nigeria. Before you get a expatriate quota like that, you will have to pass a camel through the eye of a needle, because they will take bribe and bribe and bribe and bribe from you until you empty your pocket before those people even see the light of day. When you import goods, they know that you are going to use it for manufacturing or whatever. They would take bribe and bribe and bribe from you that that enterprise will not be viable. It's a cursed country. And wherever you look at it, we're not a homogeneous people. Arabs in Saudi Arabia cannot really cheat on each other because they are the same people, or at least they have limits to how they can cheat. How can you bring how can you bring together people that are nations? Yoruba is a nation, Edo is a nation, Igbo is a nation, Birom is all of these people. You put them all together, and just like Nnamdi Kanu said, the British can exit the European Union, but they do not see the evil that is happening in Nigeria and say, yeah, it's about time, since we are sorry for bringing you guys together. If you cannot live together, let us play a hand in fixing the wrong that we did. They don't have any conscience. That is why sometimes I wish Russia will invade Britain and make them slaves. They are bad people. They have a bad influence in Africa. And
Now,
I
but
feel bad.
this
Yes.
amalgamation
And
treaty.
I feel bad about the reduced role that the, what do you call them, the Peace Corps has now. We used to see America as a country that sent you teachers, that sent you help for nothing. The Yankee did not want all these people talking about sovereignty. America never wanted what you had. They will bring to you. It's only the British who stole from you. America in their core do not take from you. The Peace Corps, when they were in Nigeria, and I do know some of them, I know Mrs. Utroski. She was a physics teacher at government secondary school, Owerri, in 1966. All of these people, they brought something to you, not Britain.
Now, let's talk about Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu. Hey, let me welcome Ayodeji Olowokere. Thank you very much for joining, and Emeka joining us. And please, if this is your first time of joining us, like and subscribe to our channel. We are the only channel, Nigerian channel. We are out of the United States here, Houston, Texas, to be precise, who speak the truth the way it is. We offend some people with our truth, but the truth is truth. You cannot compromise it. You cannot controvert it. It's true. And the reason why we react the way we react to certain things when the truth hits us, sure, our nepotistic nature. We don't see anything wrong with what those who share tribal and religious affiliations with us, and that is the reason the country is the way like this. I am happy that I've grown above uh, my consciousness has risen so high that I don't care about the tribe. I don't care about religion. I care about the people. I care about Nigeria. And this is why we appeal to you, raise your consciousness above tribalism and above religious nationalism and above regional nationalism and political partisanship. We are not interested in politics. Yes, we are interested in politics, but we are not politicians. We don't hobnob with them. We don't take anything from them. We challenge them for the evil that they have brought upon our country, because they are a huge part of the evil that is and then the Fulani larger tribe to do what they are doing. Can you imagine a minority population, less than 10 million in number? Some elites from that population are holding a whole 250 million Nigerians, overwhelming majority of Nigerians hostage. And they have done this effectively since the past 65 years, with some of us as their accomplices. Shame on none of us. And so that's why when you come here, you should be ready to be born again Nigerian. Yes, to west, north, and south, who will speak the truth in the morning, afternoon, and at night, who will not be afraid of speaking for the country. And you know where I live? I live here in the United States. You see the flag right here? You see, I love the country. The reason is because the citizens see their country. They don't see religion. They don't see tribe. And now let me shock you. Some years ago, President Bill Clinton was president of the United States. Do you know where his vice president was from? He was from Arkansas. Arkansas and Tennessee are in the southern United States, deep south of the United States. And those two states are next door neighbors. What I'm saying, Arkansas share border with Tennessee. But Bill Clinton from Arkansas was president. And Albert Gore, his vice for 8 years, was from Tennessee. America did not come down. Why they did not come down? Because America knows, or the Americans knew, or know what they want. They are looking for abilities. They are looking for competency. They are looking for courage to do right. They are looking for everything that will help build, utilize, expand, extend, and sustain capacity for the whole of America beyond self. Yes. But here, sadly, 65 years after, we are Muslim ticket. We are talking about not now to take it for the 8 years and the South.
And
And the
you
South.
hear Yahya Jinjiri. You hear
Yes.
Yahya Jinjiri. Muslim ticket.
Muslim.
Muslim.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he thinks that will fly.
Yeah.
And
Can
he's
you
a
imagine that?
Fulani. And
And
he's
you
a
know what?
Fulani.
Mhm. You know what it means? It means that we are, sadly, a people who are not thinking. Let me not use that word retards, because that will be thinking. We are not looking at how our country can get better. Have you ever heard America talk about Islam and Christianity and who want to be president? The new mayor of New York is a Muslim, right? Yes, the most powerful city in the United States.
Because it's a country of laws. They
Yes,
know that
he,
regardless of your religion, you're not going to do
yes,
bullshit.
yes.
To America, they will
He
hold
won
you,
election.
account you
Even as
to account.
yes, even as much as Donald Trump did,
America does
and
not have
except
an
for him.
INEC.
Yes,
What is
America, because
independent
America did not
about
have an INEC
yeah,
that can change
Nigeria's
the result overnight.
independent electoral commission? What is
Yes,
independent about it? If
yes,
America had INEC, the
yes,
state of Georgia will
yes,
not be after a sitting US president
yes.
talking about him interfering in
In
their
their
election.
electoral system.
And
Yes,
and it's not just in court with him for it.
absolutely.
Yes, they will not. In Nigeria, you can't do
Channel
that.
of consciousness. Yes. So you have to be willing to be conscious. If you cannot be conscious and if you cannot hear some rude truth, this is not a place for you.
You will see
Okay.
Fani Kayode,
Yes.
he takes one position today, next day he takes another position. You will
Yeah.
see Reno
Reno
Mob,
Mokri.
he takes
Reno
one
Mokri.
position today, next
Yes.
day he takes another one. You will
Yes.
see that fool in uh, in the riverine areas. What is his name? Asari Dokubo. He will
I'm
take
sorry,
one
Dokubo.
position today. You
Yes.
can't see any of them with consistency.
No, they are
All
not
of
consistent.
them
Yes.
being enabled by some chump change.
Yes.
They are all leak spits. They
Yes.
leak the spit of Fulani.
Yes. And is that not sad? It's sad. Okay, somebody is saying Ayo Deji said our problem is Fulani imperialism. Okay, now the problem has been identified. Fulani imperialism. Now, Mr. Coyote, when you see me tomorrow, assuming I run for president or another person from somewhere else, will you vote for me? Because you know I have the abilities, I have the competency, even though I don't speak your language, I don't eat what you eat, I don't live in Ibadan or wherever you live. That is where the salvation of Nigeria is. It doesn't matter who is there. The man who can do good for the whole of the country, that is what is looking. And that is why America has been progressing. You see, when it's like it happened yesterday,
In
because every
Nigeria,
new generation,
we are trying to reinvent the wheel. We will have
absolutely,
people run for president. They will not stand neck to each other
yes,
in a podium and
yes,
debate the issues.
no,
What we do is we run a campaign of personalities. They say
yes,
Atiku Abubakar, they will make him the whatever of Adamawa. You know,
yeah, Turaki.
they think that once you get a local title or something, if you are a chief, then what am I? What am I?
I
Why
don't
am
even
I
have to be.
does
Why
not
do you
have
have to be a
submission?
chief?
Uh-huh.
Yes,
You're a chief on your own local people, and you
yes,
want me to respect you because you bought a Toyota, Toyota Corolla, whatever, for your paramount head, and he confers
Paramarula,
it, and he confers a
Paramarula.
chieftaincy title to you, and you
Yes,
start
yes,
walking puffed up as if you are somebody. And in America here, I see them also mostly with Igbo, in Igbo communities. They'll
yes,
be driving on the 605 freeway
yes,
like an ordinary person.
yes.
Once a month, when they get together in their communities, you see them start shaking each other with some kind of hand gestures. They, they
Well,
wear some tusk, they
the day I
put
will
some
see you, I
beads
will
on
shake
their
you.
neck,
I will shake
and
you
so
like that, though.
everybody's the king. And people ask me, oh yeah, I know a Nigerian. His father is a king. So I said, get the fuck out from here for you. King
All
of
right.
who? King of who?
Yes,
You see people whose grandfather was just a warrant clerk, somebody who serves summons,
yes.
summons, just because he had access to white people, they will make him a chief.
Hmm.
In 20 or 30 years, they start designating him His Royal Highness. His Royal Highness. And when I see him in community, I'm supposed to become secondary to him. Me, who don't know of anybody more than me.
Okay, Mr. Gumba, let me take some reading from what they are saying. William First asks, what are we going to tell our children? All right, what are we going to tell our children? Well, this is the moment now to state a story of what we are going to tell our children. Children who were born here in the United States will go to Nigeria as kings and not as the subservient people. Yeah, and they know they are very much in what I'm doing with me. Day and night, they're making sacrifices. So you at home must adopt that same attitude. Now we got to start organizing. Ask ourselves question. We have been in this country for 65 years and we have not made any headway. I'm getting old. What am I going to bequeath to my children? That is a question. So it's because they have surrounded our country. Yes, they have surrounded our country, and we have a man who just wanted to be president, not because he want to serve the people. He just want to sit there. I don't know what kind of arrangement he has with them, watching them do all that they are doing unchallenged. Have you seen a place like that? And like, look at everything about Nigeria is wrong. That was my sermon yesterday. Everything about Nigeria is wrong, from councillor to judiciary is wrong, police is wrong, army is wrong. Yes, road is wrong, hospitals are wrong, educational system is wrong. Every damn thing is wrong. The people have now become wrong because they cannot stand up and ask questions. Yes, corruption has wiped out a whole generation of people. The country is wrong. The
Import a
country is a
import
good
im-
country.
im- import
Yes,
a container into Lagos.
yes,
Import a container into Lagos.
yes,
They will hold it and hold it and hold it until when it is like 3 days to the end of the moratorium or of the period.
yes,
Then they will say, "Oh, come and clear your goods, come and clear your goods," knowing that the paperwork and so on will be delayed in such a way that there is no way you will not incur demurrage.
yes.
There is no way. Everything they have made graft, corruption into a science. Nigerians know how you go to a court, they will get money from you to staple your documents together. They will take money from you to clear your parcel from post office. Every imaginable way to defraud the fellow Nigerian. That is the impunity. That is the system of government. Who Fulani, knowing that they have Hausa in their pocket, bequeathed to Nigeria. And we have to fight it like a cancer.
Wow. Well, it is a terrible cancer. For the sake, a lot of people are joining, and even if we're about to end this, but I'm going to read that passage that I had read before that you did not clearly hear. I want you to address it for our listeners. It's very, very important that they understand this, because part of the problem we have in Nigeria is our lack of access to knowledge about our tribal thing. Who cares about tribe? I don't even know what has my tribe done, honestly. What being an Ika person, what has it done? The only thing that I can remember that being in Ika done for me is that I can speak the language, I know the tradition. Other than that, what have I, what really, what has being an Ika person done for me? I don't know about you being an Igbo man,
What has Christianity done for Nigerians?
nothing,
What has Islam, where they pray 5 times a
not,
day of 30 minutes each, every day,
nothing.
250 million hours
Yes,
can be spent cleaning sewage systems, gutters. You will see Nigerians all with their phones standing, eating from next to a sewage system, eating shit near shit, and they'll be praying, "Oh God, oh Jesus, oh this and that, oh." And you want me to follow somebody who tricked who tricked my relatives that God had a particular interest on their tribe, and
yes,
that God checked and checked and checked. "Hey, you there, that other beautiful girl at the back, that's
yes.
the one I want. I'm gonna give him by Wi-Fi. He's gonna be pregnant for my child by Wi-Fi, and then you guys and I will be in-laws. Since I pregnated one of your daughters, and then one of these, now you and I are in-laws, and then you guys can have the front row seats, and you become the children of God. And me, Machineke, who follows Chukwu Okike, creator of existence, I say it that if life began in Africa, it began in the area with the highest concentration, the non-urban area with the highest concentration of black people. And that is the axis of Aba, Owerri, and Umuahia. That is the highest concentration per square mile. I do not believe that somebody, Abraham in Chaldea, who started from my village and his progenitors or whatever, we are moving up gradually in their skin, getting lighter and lighter. And when he got to Or in Chaldea, hundreds of years or thousands of years later, God going to recognize it. Isn't that bullshit? Isn't that bullshit?
What you learn can make you or mar you. Yeah, that's just what it is. But religions have made it very impossible for us to question our environment, question everything, interrogate ourselves
And
and our
and
history.
and you hear Arabs, you hear Arabs.
And proven
Yeah, you
yes,
wait, you hear Arabs. Oh, they will kill for their
yes,
prophet. They will kill.
yes.
I want to curse. I can't speak with that. I will kill you before you keep that shit to yourself, because if you bring it to me, you have not even seen anybody who wants to die more than you. If you will die for your religion, I am willing to kill you for your religion.
Nobody should die.
That's what I'm saying. You
And
cannot
nobody
threaten my own existence because I don't
yes,
believe in what you believe. You
absolutely.
can't threaten my own existence because I don't believe in what you believe.
You know, let's what is taking place in Nigeria now. I'm going to read that thing again. You didn't get it the first time I read it. I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
read it. It's a long passage. Listeners, listen very attentively. What is taking place in Nigeria is right now. And when you, after I read this thing to you, you hear it very well. Take it. If you are especially young people whose future is actually at most risk. I'm 63 years old. Mr. Ogumba is nearly 70 years
I'm
old.
70.
Yeah, if we are lucky to get another 40 more each, great, great. That would be great. But I am concerned about the young people in Nigeria who do not understand. That's why I'm going to read this. Fulani elites, arm Fulani youths, place them in, they train, they arm and deploy them to forests across Nigeria. And what do they use to arm them, to train them? It's money stolen from Nigeria. They are in politics. They control your economy. They are in the National Assembly. Some of them have been president or associates of presidents in Nigeria. They are in a network to destroy Nigeria. They have a mission. It's a long-term mission to take Nigeria by violence. And because of Nigeria's abundant mineral resources, Nigeria is so strategic to their conquest, their planned conquest of the West African sub-region. Yeah, listen to me now. This thing is not just only in Nigeria, but they need Nigeria so desperately. So that is why they are jumping on Nigeria. When they jump on Nigeria, feeds in Niger Delta. They have access to the gold in Elisha. They have access to the port. Yes, you remember how Buhari tried all he could to control the waterways of Nigeria. This is part of their strategic agenda. You don't understand. They arm their young people. They sit in the same National Assembly with those you elect from Ikare, from Ibadan, from Delta, from everywhere. They sit in the National Assembly with them. But they share money with them. The ones from your national, you send to the Senate, you send to the House of Assembly. They take their own. I'm talking about your own from our side, the one they call South. I don't want to hear it because it doesn't exist, doesn't have a soul. But they call themselves Southerners. All right? When you hear Northerners, it's Fulani. It's nothing. There's nothing like a Northerner for any other person. It benefits them. But they come in the name of the North. There are some of them, they share money. They use part of their money, they contribute to the pool weapons to overrun Nigeria. But those from your own places, my own place, they put their own in their pockets. All right. And when there's an election coming, they will assemble some youths, buy Okada for them. All right. Give them the people who are supposed to be voting on the election day. Give our mothers and brothers and sisters, fathers, they give them 1,000 naira each. All right. Out of the billions that they steal. And then every day, attacking villages and chasing the owners of those villages into IDP camps and taking their villages, taking their gold, taking everything there. And you think it's a joke? Now, after I read this thing, go and ask your politicians, the one representing you at the state assembly, the one who is there representing you as the local government chairman, the one representing you as governor, the one at the Senate, yes, up to the presidency. Ask them, why are they not arming the back? Why are they not? Why do they put their selfish? They put their own money in their pocket. The Fulani share. They arm because they have a program to overrun Nigeria. It didn't start today, 1804. It's a generational thing. But let me read this. All right. The dire consequences of selling votes to choose wrong leaders by the rest of Nigeria that gave a determined, repressive, destructive, disrespectful, intolerant, bigoted, hypocritical, insensitive, inhumane, savage, violent, mischievous, unpatriotic, and un-Nigerian, un-African, corrupt and morally bankrupt, and purpose-driven, morally bankrupt, and purpose-driven uh, elites from a minority ethnic group, the black country, and rule its people with iron fist, with their access to the Nigerian armed forces. Now, open Nigeria's question of the day for all Nigerians. Yes. Now, listen to this. Now, listen very carefully. How come Nigerians, especially those failures from other ethnic nationalities who call themselves elites, generationally went to sleep while a class of vicious, elitist rogues from the smallest ethnic group in Nigeria dug the dangerously large and deep mass grave that has now become most difficult to climb out of from majority population to install their crushing apartheid system and minority rule with which they have been violently and its resources since independence, unchallenged, except for once by the Igbos, who were forced to defend themselves against the habitually abused might of Nigeria in an unprovoked genocide manipulated by the British-backed Boer-like nepotistic tribal elements from the Fulani race and their long-term elitist accomplices from especially the Southwest, a few mercantile Igbo saboteurs were in the Nigerian contraption that must now be dismantled intentionally for the emergence of a true country that everyone can call home and live in peace and harmony with each other. Are you listening? Yes. Furthermore, Fulani elites, who are the lights of the Fulani race, don't love Nigeria and they don't trust other Nigerians, except they have something to immediately benefit. Association with anybody or group they want to use as a vehicle to get to their destination. And once they get what they want, they will discard that vehicle. Nigeria is not their goal or dream country. But the country's vast mineral resources, yes, mineral and natural resources, to which they are addicted and which they have brazenly mismanaged as the detriment of all of us, is crucial and most strategic to their mission to establishing their rogue Islamic Fulani nation, from where they will take the West African sub-region and ultimately Africa. Yes. A handy case study of their strategy is the Hausas, who have been in their shackles since 1804, with the Hausas good only as commodities, a numeric part of their agenda, and a bargaining chip cemented by their religious nationalism. And even though they are hypocrites to arrest and control the destiny of Nigeria, they are unapologetically nepotistic, domineering, insensitive, believing that Nigeria is their plantation workers. Therefore, you don't elect idiots who cannot stand up for Nigeria to match those corrupt, violent, unpatriotic, and un-Nigerian elites, but rugged, smart, articulate, and patriotic Nigerians driven by abilities, competency, knowledge, courage to do right and defend Nigeria and its strategic national interests, the exceptional content and strength of character required to lead and selflessly serve the country and its people beyond self, with the background understanding that Nigeria is our only country, unlike those who claim the citizenship of multiple countries, in especially the West African sub-region, and enjoy benefits as citizens of those countries, hiding behind cross-country cattle herding, which must now stop to end this insecurity in Nigeria. The Fulani have declared war against Nigeria, and it is most stupid of all of us to believe that it is a mere banditry and terrorism, looking at those behind them, the sophistication of their war arsenals, and their operational capabilities. Have you heard this, Nigerians? Mr. Gumba, would you want to react to this? Because that was what I was reading when we had that disruption.
Well, look at it this way: religion, they hide religion as a uniting force. They use religion to seize the Hausa population and use the Hausa population because politics is a game of numbers to seize politics and decision making in Nigeria, which enabled them to pass economic legislation that benefited their own community. In Nigeria, what they did was that they held military coup after military coup, each time changing the Nigerian constitution until they fine-tuned it to the point where they have the rest of Nigeria in a pig roast, you know, like they're putting us on a barbecue. But the point is that, again, one day, I mean, every day for the thief, one day for the owner. They miscalculated by turning their guns on Hausa, who were their backbone. Even if no help comes to Nigeria, we will still seize the legislative power from them because Hausa has wisened up. Majority of Hausa have had from time half-baked education, half-baked preparation for life because Fulani took all the resources. Those of them that were able to fall out of the cracks and get a good education, when you encounter them, they're as good as anybody in the world in terms of the ability they display. But otherwise, even 75 after 75 years of independence, you still find Hausa people very, very unable to grapple with the very language in which they were given any education at all. So we are not going to be afraid of Hausa anymore. It came full circle when they attacked their own spine, which is Hausa, and they elongated it when they imprisoned Nnamdi Kanu. The battle lines are drawn. Even the Yoruba people who are used to sitting on the fence, their own communities are not safe anymore. You know, because they will say, I want Aboki. Because the Yoruba people in temperament have an attitude of belittling people. And when Aboki, they call it, as if those people are of no material consequence. Beyerebe, they call, they know the name is Balarabe. Hey, Bangwa Beyerebe. They have a way of denigrating people. But as long as they are in the same tent with Fulani, it still will not take them anywhere. The Igbo and the Hausa are banding together with the rest of the other tribes in the north, both Christian and Muslim, against Fulani. This mess is not going to go on forever. You know, just be assured of that. It's not going to get any worse. This is as bad as it gets. It's not going to get any worse because every community now knows that they must do whatever it takes to preserve their own life. When you watch on Facebook and you see people running from gunfire, how does that make you feel? Why should anyone be running for their life in a country where there is a government?
Shouldn't. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. All right, before you go, let's talk about a brief. The Chief Nnamdi Kanu sentenced using charges that were not in the original. Nnamdi Kanu spending his lifetime in jail.
Oh, Nnamdi Kanu will come out of jail as a hero eventually. It does not matter that they put him in Sokoto. Like I told you, if Saad Abubakar has any sense, let him abdicate now while there is still daylight. Him and his cousins in the emirships
Mm.
all over Nigeria, all over the north of Nigeria. Those palaces that are occupied by Fulani will be turned into museums
Hmm.
of Hausa culture. Saad Abubakar will be deposed.
That's strong.
They will be turned to museums. You just watch. In due course, he is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. All these Fulani emirs. And Hausas, anytime now, will be installing their own emirs parallel to Fulani. And there is nothing that Fulani can do about it.
Thank you, Mr. Gumba. You spend a lot of time. We have been here nearly 160 minutes. That's a long one, about the longest we have been here. So thank you very much for being part of this program, and especially today you were invited at the last minute. I thought like this is a very important topic. I cannot do it by myself. I needed your attention, and you honored without blinking, and you had to cancel an appointment you had. That was and always thank you very much for being part of this. Now, give one parting word to the Nigerian people in general. What do you want to tell the Nigerian people? Because let me just read something right here before you do that. And then someone sent a message, said, "This is a country we have all suffered for. Inflation of prices, life has become unbearable. Here things are really getting out of control." That's what somebody, William Fessler, said. He said citizens are suffering bitterly here, and no education. And he went on to say, saying it is a reprisal is a taboo to our tradition. What do you have to speak? Just talk to Nigerians,
Saying what
before
is
you.
a taboo to us? I didn't get that last bit.
I didn't quite understand that. It was a sentence saying it is a reprisal. It's a taboo to our tradition. I don't know. If he's still here, maybe he can give some clarification. Maybe he's angrily saying that fighting taboo and something like that. That's my understanding. And he went further. Let me see something else he had. All our traditional rulers are not saying anything, and we are surrounded by francophone countries. All right. So that is from William Fessler. If he was here, to clarify more, maybe that will help. But obviously, he says expressing displeasure and anger against the state of Nigeria. So that's what it is.
I will ask Nigerians to hydrate. I'll ask them to hydrate, reinvigorate themselves. Do not lose sight of the enemy. One of the strongest slogans in the Biafran War is that a man uh, who is cornered by enemies guards his life every second. We must not take our eyes out of the sight of Fulani. We must have them in our sight at all time. We must consider them our enemies, both good and bad Fulani, until even the one supposedly good Fulani has publicly disavowed the actions of their kinsmen. Otherwise, we will group them together because he may be an elite who is not sponsoring terrorism, but he is a beneficiary of the terrorist act of his tribe. So Nigerians must not take their eyes off for Fulani, and they should do everything in their power, in their ability to take it back. Whether the machine, and that's where I like the Igbo, bows and arrow, because even with a group, a significant number of people, equipped with a bow and arrows, you can take on this motorcycle convoy. All you need to do is capture a few small arms, and you can go after them. Everything is about ambush. You must defend your life with every ability that you have. You cannot relent. You can't backpedal. You can't soft pedal. For the bully, one
Mm.
thing the bully likes to see is fear in your eyes, and they will come stronger for you. It was Champagne in one, the American activist and actor, in one of his roles in the prison. He was being bullied, and he continued to gather canned goods like soda pop. He kept saving them. And one day he put a number of them in his pillowcase. And when this guy came after him, he used that pillowcase containing a whole bunch of soda, you know, and bashed the bully.
Yeah.
Now I can tell you this. It's a story too, because I taught it to my own son when he was 3.5 years old. I went to pick him up from school one day
Hmm.
and he was crying. And I asked him, I said, "What happened?" He said, "Balaj." He was, I think he's a Yugoslav boy or whatever, had pushed him while they were in line. And the gravel that they used, when he fell, he scraped his spine.
Hmm.
Said, "We are going straight to the central market." I bought him steel toe boots,
Hmm.
boots
Wow.
with steel toe.
Yeah.
I said, "When he bullies you again," I showed him where to kick him on his shin.
Hmm.
Kick him on his shin because he was very young. Chidozie was 3.5 year old in a class of 5 year olds.
Yeah.
Kick him on his shin, he will fall. And when he is fall, I put a paint a paint paint can filled with sand. Keep kicking him while he's down because you have to put the fear of God on your enemy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he will not relent. They will
Yeah.
never stop picking on you. From that day, anytime the boy bullies other students, they call Chidozi, who was the smallest boy in the class, to
Hmm.
go take care of him. And he feared him. So I have no problem of hating Fulani 2.5 times more than they hate me. We captured British mercenaries during the war. You cannot hate your enemy bad enough until you have roasted him while he's alive, so that the stories will go to, because anybody who will perpetrate such heinous crimes on you, you have to be as wicked, more wicked than them. Nigerians must learn to deal with Fulani because Fulani has no mercy for us. That's my word.
All right. All right, Mr. Gumba. Thank you for this great evening encounter. I really appreciate you. And we'll be talking later. Thank you. And have a great evening from California.
You too, sir.
All right. You take care.
Thank you.
Yes. Fellow Nigerians and listeners from Nigeria across Africa and around the world. It has been such an great encounter with Mr. Charles Ugumba. Charles Ugumba is a Nigerian, diehard Biafran. He joined the Biafran army at the age of 12, in anger. And, he's like he said, he did not surrender. He didn't hand over anybody. Nobody surrendered on his behalf. He's so and has been working tirelessly, to inspire Nigerians to rise up. And he was born in the north. He was born in Kaduna. He has a foundation with which he's supporting a lot of Hausa children in the north in the area of science, technology, and teaching them Chinese. And hopefully, I said, is the future language of business. So this guy you saw here is a great Nigerian, very, very patriotic Nigerian. And whenever he doesn't blink, he's out here talking about Nigeria with so much passion. He's so angry about what is taking place in Nigeria. So, fellow Nigerians watching me right now from Nigeria and everywhere on earth, my name is Smart Mado Ajaja. I am the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite and the anchor of this program, Nigeria Now, and um, Global Matters Arising. Good Morning Africa, which we hold every morning midnight here, which is 7 a.m. Nigerian time. If you want to catch us on Wednesdays. And reggae at its best every Friday evening, starting at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Houston, Texas. It's been such a wonderful moment, hanging out with you. And encourage you to like what we do. Just take a minute, and of course, I know it's a lot of people who tuned in to watch this program. Like, because that is how YouTube algorithm pick up our message and recommend our channels to other people. We want to expand our horizon, and we cannot do it by ourselves. We count on you to support us to succeed for Nigeria, Africa, and the world, because we do things differently. We are not the regular media, and that you know, we speak the truth raw the way it is. We offend people, step on toes now more than ever before, to ginger our people to end this minority rule in Nigeria. Really, it's minority rule. It's apartheid. That's what it is that is taking place. Yes, Ayodeji said Nigeria needs to be completely restarted. Corruption runs so deep. I agree with you. I can't agree less with you, and that is what we have been doing. Part of our work is we fight corruption. If you want to join us on YouTube, on Facebook, we have a Nigeria Now movement. What we are trying to do is to build a movement for the Nigerian people, to gather enough people, to reach that uh, um, critical mass of a critically conscious, patriotic Nigerians that can exert the kinetic energy to cause an exodus out of this black old English Nigeria that we are trapped in, so we can build a brand new country with free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional all to grow and develop and progress and prosper according to their abilities and levels of competency in a non-threatening environment. Yes, reading further from William Fessler, he said all the security agencies are suffering bitterly. No allowances, no good cantonment. They just allocated 100 billion to renovate laughing stock within 2 years. Tinubu spent over 300 billion. Even GEJ. Yes, Nigeria is a, we are not, I'm not surprised. Yes, Manding and Kano. Uh, I don't know. Yes, he said Nigeria is evil. Yes, Nigeria is a good country. Nigeria is not evil. The drivers of Nigeria are evil. And those drivers, we know, they are the ones who plunge us into a needless, what they call civil war that we now know is a genocide. The same people, we cannot continue to allow them to overrun our country. This is why everybody must get involved now. That ally is not your. Some people think that Nigeria is not their business. Nigeria is your business, or it will become your business the day your brother, your sister, your mother is kidnapped, and they are asking you for a ransom that you cannot afford. Then you will know. So all of us must unite now. Igbos, Yorubas, Hausas, everybody come together for us to build the Nigeria of our dream and take the Nigeria that we have right now from criminals, rogues who don't love Nigeria, they don't want to be Nigerian. They are good country, Sokoto Caliphate. So if you are a politician or you are involved in politics, this is what you should know. Now, Nigerians, young people especially, take away the message that I read to you. Ask your politicians why they are not arming you to fight back. They steal money, they put all the money in their pockets, then sprinkle a little to you during elections. All right, Fulani steal. They invest in arming their youths to overrun Nigeria because they have a long-term mission to seize the at all costs. Yes, yes. All right, so that's what it is. And it is sad that we are aware. This is a show of shame. They killed innocent people in Lekki Tollgate. Absolutely. Still in prison since then, 2020. Over 5 years ago now. Yes. So if we don't fight, see, Babylon does not need gentility. These people have declared a war. We have to fight back. We have to fight back. If we don't, our silence has enabled them. Our silence has been the gas. Yes, the petrol that they have been using to get worse by the day. How can a country that has an armed forces not quell a riot of a few people. Something is not right. All right, you heard about what took place in Zamfara State. The army was guiding a school. The Matawale told them to withdraw. And then the next minute, kidnappers came and took all those children into custody. How as a minister of defense, and Nigerians are quiet. Nobody is asking enough questions. That is not right. Something ain't right. Something is very, very wrong. Yes, something is very, very wrong with Nigeria. Yes, at my 19, with the potential and passion, I was not recruited in MPF, but couldn't continue due to a particular Yoruba tribal bigot, senior officer that made job miserable for me. A lot happened to me because I'm Igbo. Yes, we got to have to end this tribal in Nigeria. And it's going to take the right type of leadership to make that happen. We have been victims of what we are suffering today because of the type of leaders that we choose. We have to elect leaders with open mind, who have Nigeria at their heart, who want the best of Nigeria and Nigerians in all. Until we do that, we will not get anywhere. But I am hopeful that Nigeria will change, but it's going to require action from all of us. Don't despair, never give up, because we are not giving up. From our own distance here, from using our media, we are doing a lot, and all the things that you hear the United States is about to do or about doing, the statements that is coming from them, they are products of some of the actions, maneuvers from some of us here, and that we are happy that we are yielding, they are yielding result. We will not stop until what is holding Nigeria down is completely dismantled for the good of all. I say good night and I love you. While looking forward to seeing you again. Please, again, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so because it helps us immensely to grow and expand our mission. Bye for now.